So what's up guys, Foxen here. Here's the Attack on Titan chapter 111 follow-up discussion. So by popular demand, this is coming back. And really, just going forward, I want this to be more of a casual discussion with you guys. Alright, so getting into the questions asked by you guys. This is both coming from Discord and Twitter. So first off from Discord, the first question comes from Kashmir Fox. Thanks for supporting on Patreon by the way. So the question, I'm wondering what the hell is gonna happen when Eren finds Zeke? Is that where Levi dies? Killed by his mentee? Or does Levi live? I feel like no. Ah yes, what the freaking hell is happening with Eren and Zeke, and also Levi? If you recall, Levi and Zeke are camping out in the giant forest. In the last chapter, Eren just broke out of freaking jail. Does that mean that Eren's going over to find Zeke? I mean, it should mean that. Watch, it'd be funny if that's not the case. Just imagine if Eren is actually going to a different location. He's gonna get on a boat and go back to Marley. Or perhaps even visit Mikasa's own grandmother. Or was it distant relative? One or the two. But I think that would heavily disappoint people, especially with this supposedly being the final arc of Attack on Titan. So what's gonna happen when Eren finds Zeke? Right now it seems that everyone is hoping that the Wall Titans are finally released. In other words, Eren and the Beast Titan are gonna fist bump each other, and then the whole world comes to an end. But then you got the question about what exactly is gonna happen with Levi. A lot of people are expecting Levi versus Eren, and then at this point Eren is seemingly very overpowered. He has 3 Titans. The Attack Titan, the Founding Titan, and now the new WarHammer Titan. Does Levi even stand a chance? Definitely post your own thoughts below. Levi has always been seen as this overpowered character, but seems like now Eren in the current story could take him out. So let me just mention this. I think a lot of people right now do want to see Eren versus Levi. Perhaps even Eren and the Beast versus Levi and the rest of the Survey Corps. The thing is, if that does happen, it's gonna be very quick. If you recall the last battle that took place in Marley, that spanned over multiple chapters. And the thing about Attack on Titan is that we have about 20 chapters or so left. I don't think Isayama wants to spend a good amount of time on this fight. So let me toss it over to you watching. Eren versus Levi, who wins now? Does Levi die? I think I'm actually going to have a full video on this topic later on. Next up, second Discord question from T. Smith. Will Annie wake up soon? And by the way, also thank you for being a Patreon supporter. Ah yes, the topic about Annie. How long has Annie been asleep now? Like 4 years if you count our timeline? If you actually go by the Attack on Titan timeline, it's also been about 4 years. The thing is, we're now entering, or we're at the start of the Attack on Titan final chapter. Annie has to wake up soon, somehow. And it really does suck. Annie's only going to be back for about 20 chapters or so. Anyway, now moving on to the Twitter questions. First Twitter question comes from Christian. Hi Foxen, I love your videos so much. Why, thank you. But I have 2 questions for you. What do you think is going to happen to Eren by the end of Attack on Titan? And also, do you think Reiner's going to give Falco the armor when he's transformed into a pure Titan by Zeke? So thank you for the question, Christian. And by the way, just for future reference, next time I'm going to be accepting only 1 question per person. So first off, what is going to happen to Eren by the end of Attack on Titan? I think that's still up in the air. What exactly does Isayama want to do? You know right now that Eren is pretty much a ticking time bomb. So the question should be, is Attack on Titan going to end before Eren does? Or will it continue past Eren? If you're actually asking whether Eren's going to survive the Curse of Ymir, I would put my money on Eren not surviving. And then the second part, do you think Reiner's gonna give Falco the Armored Titan? So after the latest chapter, you know that Falco has been quote-unquote infected with the wine. Oh no, Niccolo, you tainted poor Falco. I think it's almost guaranteed that Falco will be turned into a mindless Titan. In other words, Isayama has set up Falco to take the Armored Titan. Pretty easily, I would say. The thing about Falco taking the Armored Titan is that it seems way too predictable. I mean, I think ever since the introduction of Falco, everyone's been expecting him to take the armor one day. And like I said, that seems pretty predictable and by the numbers. It would actually be more interesting if Falco somehow took Zeke's Titan or Annie's Titan. Let's go ahead and see that. Next Twitter question by Nebel Notice, or Nebel Notice. His question, are you enjoying the Falco and Gaby story at the moment? Because I've seen a lot of people complaining that they've been getting too much screen time and are unnecessary. And yeah, I can see where a lot of people are coming from. I actually have not seen too many complaints about Falco. Most of the hate seems to be directed at Gaby. And yeah, like I mentioned in my review, I am really just wondering what Isayama's plan is for Gaby. Are we as the reader supposed to eventually like Gaby? Is Gaby just supposed to be hated throughout the story? Does Isayama not care? Unfortunately, if you do hate Gabby, I think you're still going to be getting a lot more of her until the end of Attack on Titan. I actually don't see Gabby dying off. Next Twitter question comes from the Rayman. Hey Foxen, from the latest chapter I believe that the final battle will be in the forest. Do you think the warriors will find Zeke first, then Eren? It seems that Zeke might be a double agent for Marley. So quite a few things here even though there's only one question. So about the final battle being in the forest, I think there's going to be a final battle on Paradise Island, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be in the forest. And do I think the warriors will find Zeke first, then Eren? That is a good question. I actually haven't spent too much thought thinking into the details about who's going to meet who first and who's going to battle who first. But yeah, in one of the latest chapters you saw that Peak is on the island. I actually got a feeling that whatever's going to go down between Zeke and Eren, that's not going to involve the warriors at all. If anything, the warriors may come in afterwards. I mean, these guys are heading towards the forest, which is in the middle of nowhere. The warriors have no reason to be there. And then the question about Zeke being a double agent for Marley, I heavily disagree with that. I'm pretty sure that Zeke has his own motives. Right now it's still a question about whether Eren is fully aware about that or not. If anything, Zeke might be pulling the strings on Eren. Next Twitter question comes from the WarHammer Titan. Hey, the WarHammer Titan's a fan. So the question, do you think the events of the recent chapter will be enough to get to Gabby's senses? That is a good question. So far it seems that Gabby's been extremely brainwashed. But even during that struggle, you still saw Gabby try to fight back. So will Gabby come to her senses? I really hope so. If not, this is going to continue dragging on for a few more chapters. Next Twitter question up from Chihuahua. Nice picture by the way. Now that we're moving on into the final arc of the series, how do you think it will come to an end? That is $1 million question. How is Attack on Titan going to end? And I actually plan to do an in-depth video on this. I got a feeling that Isayama's still working out the exact details, but one of the things that everyone is expecting is the Wall Titans to be released. Come on, Isayama has been teasing us forever about them. Next Twitter question from Max. Do you think that Eren is planning to become the king of the walls? That he is a father and using this kid to become the legal king? Or do you think he'll use a fake dad to hold the MP in the dark? And what do you think about Zeke's wine plan? Did Eren know about it? So for this, I'm going to set the question limit to 2. So first off, about Eren becoming the king of the walls, I honestly don't think he gives a damn. Right now there's way more important things going on in the story. And about using the fake dad to keep the military police in the dark. So even now there's still a question about whether Historia hooked up with the farmer guy. And yeah, I'm sure messing with the military police was part of that. If anything, it was a side benefit. Next Twitter question from Emmanuel. Do you think Annie will play a major part in Attack on Titan's ending? I mean, I would hope so. So far she's been on ice for years and years. There's a couple of things that we could guarantee. First off, Isayama put her away for a long while. Either he didn't know what he wanted to do with her, or he put her away for a good reason. Let's hope that it was for a good reason. The one thing that sucks is, like I mentioned, Annie's only going to be back for about 20 or so chapters. Next Twitter question from Colton Reagan 21. Since the Marlians are within the walls, will they attempt to assassinate Queen Historia after their infiltration? Or are the Yeager faction going to start the rumbling? Annie's return? Okay, so thankfully I've answered the Annie thing quite a bit. And about whether the Marlians are going to take out Queen Historia. Right now the only Marlians on the island should be the warriors. The one problem with that is that Peak doesn't have too much time. Whatever Eren and Zeke are planning is going to be taking off pretty soon. That's why I don't actually think they're going to have enough time to kill off Historia, or at least not assassinate her. I think Peak's priority right now is actually finding Zeke, or actually finding Eren. You could bet that that's definitely going to be Reiner's priority. And about whether the Yeager brothers are going to start the rumbling. I actually think that's part of Zeke's plan, but not necessarily Eren's plan. What do you think? Are both the Yeager brothers in on the rumbling plan? Or is it just Zeke or just Eren? Next Twitter question from King Sorrow. Do you think after what happened to Gabby through this chapter, she has somewhat reformed and realized that the people of Paradise are in fact good people? So whether she's actually reformed, I really hope so. But actually, I don't think Gabby is dumb at all. She must at least have some idea that these people on Paradise Island are quote-unquote good people. Next question from Michael. Shouldn't Gabby have died already? And what do you think about Mikasa and Armin being so far away from Eren when they were together for 95% of the series? So first question about Gabby, since she's so popular. Yeah, I actually think if this was your typical shonen series, Gabby would have died a long time ago. If anything, it could just be Isayama's trolling keeping Gabby alive. And about Mikasa and Armin being so far away from Eren, I actually think it makes sense based on where the story is going, and also based on where the story has been in the past. I mean, you mentioned them being together over 90% of the series. If anything, Mikasa's actually getting some nice development now that she's away from fricking Eren. And talk about Mikasa, the next question is love for Mikasa. Since it's been 1 month since Gabi and Falco arrived on Paradise, does that mean that Historia is near her due date now? Do you think she's given birth yet? Ah yes, another popular topic, Historia's baby. Has she given birth yet? I really doubt it. They wouldn't have done that off screen. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that Historia's kid is going to play a huge role to the story. I could see Historia giving birth in 5 or 10 chapters. It'll definitely be before the story ends. And a lot of people still think there's going to be that Game of Thrones connection with Historia possibly dying during childbirth. Do you think that's going to happen? Next Twitter question from CG. How do you think Eren's story will end? Well, Attack on Titan did start with Eren, so technically the Attack on Titan story is Eren's story. When Attack on Titan ends, so will Eren. Next Twitter question from Linecheck. What do you think will happen to poor Falco? So another Falco question. I think the most likely chance is that Falco will become a mindless Titan. The most popular idea is that then Falco is gonna eat Reiner's ass. The thing is, I'm hoping for a little bit of a twist. What if Falco does become a mindless Titan but Reiner kills him accidentally? Or what if someone else kills Falco before he actually eats any of the Titan shifters? At least at that point it'd be a little bit surprising or shocking to some people. Next Twitter question from Magic. If you could give it a percentage, what would be the percentage of any of these happening in chapter 111? I think you mean 112. The baby daddy reveal, Annie, some Eren Zeke bonding. Okay, so I'm definitely not good at percentages. The baby dad reveal, I think Isayama's still gonna be holding that back for a while. About Annie, I think Isayama's gonna be teasing Annie even more. And how about some Eren Zeke bonding? Yeah, from this one I think is the most likely, especially with Attack on Titan being in the final arc. Next Twitter question from Taylor Herbert. How do you feel about Eren's new attitude and how it's affecting the series? So Eren's new attitude, I think it makes for a natural progression of Eren getting older. At the same time, he's also gotten much mature. And about how it's affecting the series, it's pretty nice to see a change with Eren's character. The one issue that I have is that we're not actually getting too much from Eren. What exactly is going on in his mind? Unfortunately, I think Isayama's doing that on purpose, just to keep us in the dark. Next Twitter question from Ike. Do you think that Eren's dream will help guide the rest of the series? Since Hannes and his mother death was shown to be a prediction, then you can see a Titan that looks like pixies and another shot of the Survey Corps members in the forest. Ah yes, Eren's dream, and I think that was anime original by the way. Do I think it's gonna guide the rest of the series? Possibly. It really all depends on what Isayama's planning. I mean, the original ending supposedly was everyone dying off, which is all the Survey Corps members dying off in the forest that you mentioned. So it really all depends on what Isayama wants to do. If he wants to do it, go for it. I don't think he should be restrained by it. Next Twitter question from Conqueror's Hacky Corner. What is Eren and the volunteers up to? Is there really a plan to join up with Zeke? Ah yes, Eren breaking out of jail and joining the volunteers, or his cult. Yeah, I think right now their #1 priority is to actually find Zeke, and in the process finding Levi. And final question from Nebel. Are you already subscribed to PewDiePie? If not, smash subscribe. So really, I'm not even sure what the hell is going on with PewDiePie. Isn't the guy already like at 60 million subscribers? I mean, tell him to subscribe to me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this more casual styled video. Definitely let me know your thoughts on it down below, which will be today's question of the day. By the way, I'm also thinking about bringing back the prediction or discussion video before the next chapter, chapter 112. I think I'm going to be doing something similar with Twitter and Discord. And actually, if you want to start right now, you could actually hashtag Attack on Titan 112 and tweet that at me. Just go ahead and get a jump start on that. That video will come out in a week or two. So, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.